Everybody, hello, and welcome to the Gasm Show, week 2. I am Tim Ellerby. I am hosting this evening with the lovely.
Adeline Mohammed. Hello, everyone.
It's good to have all of you here. And as we talked about last week, we are going to be discussing uh, Will You Be My Valentine, particularly what men want this Valentine's Day. So, if you're watching and you have questions or comments about that, you want to give us a call. The studio number is 313-355-6018. That's 313 in the D, 355-6018. All right, so here we are, top of the hour. You are watching the Orgasm Show live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, as well as other top social media platforms. Be sure to like, follow, share, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Tell your friends about us.
Absolutely. You don't want to miss a thing.
And we all thank you for watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. All right. So, what would you like to start with this evening?
Oh my goodness. There's so many different things. I think it's really cool that we are taking a holiday that traditionally is the focus is on women and actually kind of sharing it with men. We know that we also have Sweetest Day, which we usually use for men, but that's only in a few select areas. So, across the country, we are going to share our Valentine's Day with our men this year. And show them some love and some support because it's been a rough couple of years for everybody. And I know that a lot of our men have really face a lot of difficulties and challenges that they weren't expecting. So, ladies, we're going to make sure that they feel appreciated, loved, and honored this Valentine's Day.
Well, we appreciate that, all of us men folk here. So last week we were talking about certain things that men wanted. We started with that. And some of the things that came up with were very simplistic. If our women would just wear one of our dress shirts and nothing else while she's making breakfast. The professor was here and he said that a t-shirt and panties with no bra, just simple stuff. We're visual creatures.
Yes. So. Definitely. I also think it's very important that when your significant other comes home, that you look cute when he comes home, especially if you've been home. You don't want to have him come home and you got on rollers in your hair and, or your head wrapped, how we do. You want to make sure that you're always presenting yourself to be as beautiful as possible when they come home from a hard day at work, because they want to come home and lay their eyes on beauty, and have dinner ready or be cooking dinner. And, I'm old fashioned that way. I like to cook for mine. So I think that's very important too.
And it is appreciated. I tell women all the time when I'm teaching, counseling, whatever, I tell them all the time, I said, if you have a job outside the home and you get all nice and dolled up and dressy and you go to work, and then as soon as you come home you start taking all that off, all the makeup and everything, put your hair up in the headscarf, so your man doesn't get to see you looking beautiful, but your co-workers do. So it's like one of those things you need to be careful with.
Oh, absolutely.
Out here. And we watch stuff like that.
You want to make sure your hair is done, your nails are done, your toes are done. Lady, our feet should be stand-up ready all the time, okay? So let's just start on that now. Just saying, I don't think any man wants to feel like he's spilling sandpaper in bed, so let's work on that, okay? Our feet should be just as beautiful as our face. I truly believe that.
The lotion on the feet, yeah.
Absolutely. I know there was a topic that I think it may have come up with it last time. I'm not sure, about erectile dysfunction and that topic, because we know that that is something that does affect a lot of men, and primarily usually men over 40. But actually, nowadays men as young as 20, 22, 24, like in their 20s, are experiencing that as well, and finding natural alternatives that can be presented in a fun way. I think is very important. I think it helps to foster communication. I think, getting creative also helps. So I think that's very important that we keep those lines of communication open. Any
Absolutely.
thoughts?
Yeah, touching on that subject, and I just want to read a little bit here from this article I have. It says, when a person has difficulty getting and maintaining an erection, doctors refer to it as erectile dysfunction, of course. And according to the Urology Care Foundation, it affects up to 30 million men in the United States. So understanding the physical, mental, and emotional factors that contribute to ED, it can help people choose a diet that is better helping to promote better sex. So I know that some of the reasons for erectile dysfunction, and a lot of people don't realize when you reach a certain age, are stress and anxiety, overwork. You can work like 60, 70 hours a week, right? And you don't have the energy or the attention. Your body can't focus on maintaining that erection because your mind is all over the place thinking about work and cutting the grass and making sure the cars are fixed. You got too much going on as a man, so that contributes to it, as well as diet. We tend to eat a lot of the wrong things early on in life, and all of that plus all of that stress catches up to you.
It really does, and I think it's a very beneficial. I'm gonna put a plug in for something in a second, but I think it's very beneficial that we have those conversations and we talk about it, because it's really nothing to be embarrassed about. And being able to talk about it, and if it's a situation with your diet, that's definitely a time to talk to the woman in your life so that she can start cooking you some healthier meals, meals maybe with less fat, less cholesterol, because if you have all of that buildup in your arteries and your blood vessels, it lessens your circulation, and that contributes to erectile dysfunction or ED. And so you want to have a healthier diet. If you're overweight, that can contribute to it, as well as, like you were saying, being tired. Because sometimes you're just like, whew, I love you, but like, can we just cuddle? Because you gotta get some sleep. You gotta get up in 5 hours. That sleep is really important.
Right.
And so a lot of people know out there that I am a CBD coach, and I actually have a CBD line and a CBD store out in Waterford. So feel free to hit me up if you want to visit Marlan's Miracles, and that's Marlan with the A, MARLANS, miracles.com. And I want to share some items that are really popular amongst a lot of my clients. So I have some clients that come to me for the anxiety, because anxiety can contribute to ED. That's more of a mental aspect of it, because if you're not feeling it up here, you're not gonna feel it anywhere else.
That's correct.
And so that's really important. Or you have some people that aren't getting enough sleep, so they're constantly tired because they didn't get enough rest the night before, or good quality sleep the night before. So now that's contributing to it, as well as those circulatory issues that can contribute to it. So two of the things that a lot of my clients have found to be very beneficial, one is our massage oil. We have a CBD massage oil, 1,000 milligrams of full spectrum CBD, meaning that it's got the entire plant profile in there. And using that one, your body is like the biggest organ. Your skin is the biggest organ on your body. Yes, and it's got the most receptors for cannabis products and what have you. And so just that act of massaging can definitely help to relax you. It can help to calm your mind, ease your mind. It can get things flowing. But when you add that added benefit of the CBD and for the circulation, that just makes things all that much better. As well as our CBD tincture or CBD oil that you can take internally as well. That can help with relaxing, help with anxiety. But more importantly, and with men, the CBD really does help with that, or can help, because I just want to throw it out there. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving any medical advice. Nothing I say is to treat or cure or all of that kind of stuff. Please check out our website for our full FDA disclaimer. Okay, now that is said, but really getting that blood flowing and getting that circulation going is very important for both men and women.
So my question would be, okay, so is it like full body massage, or are we just focusing on the genital areas?
I really think that's a personal choice. My own personal opinion is, why just get an appetizer? We can get the whole meal. So why not, head to toe? Let's do everything. But really, I think it's a personal choice. It's depends how much time you have. I mean, how
Right,
did the
right. How
children
about
just
2
go to
minutes?
bed, or is it about time for them to get up? I mean, so you really have to think about how much time you have to kind of determine how you want to do things and how you want to set that ambiance and start that evening.
Okay, all right. Yeah, just in case everybody wanted to know, because they're like, well, what do we do with it? I'm like, oh gosh, oils with massage. Most people use like lotions. That's fine. I've done that before. But when you get into oils, it's a completely different animal. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
it would be interesting. And then I asked a question because I'm a full body massage type person. Like if I'm massaging her, then it's head to toe. But some people may just be like, well, if it's something that'll just work to, well, yeah, if you're massaging the genitals with it, then it's like, that's going to start something.
It is.
Something.
But I think it's better to kind of warm the body up, because if you can kind of warm the body up, I feel like things last longer. But I definitely say, from head to toe, spend that time really reconnecting with your partner. I think is very important. It builds that intimacy when you're able to do that. And just helping to relax you and get you out of your head, because sometimes we're just so into our head, and I think it's important to get out of our head and just kind of get into each other.
Yeah. And then that's one of those things that men want. Like women, you guys want your massages, and we understand that, but so do we.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, your man comes home, and it doesn't have to just be Valentine's Day. He's had a long day at work. You can do for him what he does for you: the bubble baths and the glass of wine or whatever you drink, and then you can, in the massage, like you were saying, that why just have the snack when you can have the whole meal.
Exactly.
It becomes actually a form of foreplay, actually, where you get to explore your lover and find out what feels good and what doesn't, and also relieving tension in the muscles and everything. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Absolutely. Releasing that tension. Sometimes people have muscle aches and pains, and getting rid of all of that. It's like stretching before you work out. You're going to have a better workout if you're able to do that, if you're not feeling stiff and all of that. So I definitely think that
a better workout.
It definitely is. And like you were saying about foreplay is so important. And foreplay doesn't have to start right before you're interested in being intimate with your partner. Foreplay can start that morning. Foreplay can start the day before. You can do little things with each other all throughout the day, brushing up against each other, putting notes in each other's pockets or lunch bags,
sending pictures via text. They may have a meeting at work. Just send a picture, and it doesn't have to be anything completely graphic. Just a hint and a tease. Sometimes that's all it takes. You know what I'm saying? And then it'll of course give them something to think about all while they're at work, and then everybody comes home at the end of the day, and we're all ready to go. So.
Exactly. Sending flowers. Some men like to receive flowers, so sending flowers to them. Showing up at his job with lunch. With a hot lunch for him, so he doesn't have to eat, that turkey sandwich that's in the refrigerator. That you can actually bring a meal there and have lunch with him, or just drop it off for him. Things like that can start that foreplay process, so that you don't have to wait until right beforehand to try to get things going. You're anticipating that, or you've been anticipating it for a day or so, and I think that builds excitement and makes it more fun. But definitely just, have those days where you just make it all about him, ladies, and just really honoring our men.
And again, we appreciate that. So you are watching the Orgasm Show live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Be sure to like, follow, share, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Tell your friends about us.
That you don't want to miss out.
We thank you for watching WJZZ Cool TV, which is the coolest station in the world. And if you'd like to call in, the number is 313-355-6018. Again, that's 313 and the D 355-6018. So you mentioned something about the intimacy, and I had something that I well, let me see if I can find it real quick. Where it was talking about different forms of intimacy, and of course I can't find it now that I'm looking for it. But oh, here it is. So I saw this on the internet today, and it's 2 rows. The first row says intimacy, and the other says also intimacy. So the first one goes foreplay and sex. And then also intimacy says intellectual dialogue, sharing joy, fears, and shame, exploring creative passions and hobbies, mutual vulnerability, hugging and cuddling, discussing sense of purpose and values, space for difficult conversations, and communicating all expectations. And I think that second list is far more important than the first list, because if you get the second list right, then the first list is a given.
That makes the first list just that much better.
Yeah, yes.
Because there is a difference between intercourse and intimacy. There's a difference, because you can have one without the other.
Yes.
But when you have both together, oh wow. But it is important to feel that deep spiritual connection to your partner, and that is built outside of the bedroom. Yeah. It's manifested inside the bedroom or whatever room in the house you are.
Whichever room.
Or the car. I mean, whatever works for you, But it starts and it grows outside of that area. When you can be so connected that you can feel them, even when they're not around. That's true intimacy. When you feel safe and you feel protected, you feel respected and you feel honored, and you feel like that person is the only person for you in the world. Yeah. That is true intimacy, when you are connected on that level.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
And they can have those discussions in the bedroom about things that might be uncomfortable, like erectile dysfunction or any other sexual issues that may come up, or performance issues that may come up. You can talk about those things and feel comfortable talking about them.
Right. And there goes that whole open communication, and has to be there.
Oh, absolutely.
In discussing the erectile dysfunction earlier, that was one of the things that was not on our original list. Which was like a disconnect between you and your mate. Sometimes that, like if you're arguing about something and you can't come to a reconciliation, that could cause erectile dysfunction as well.
It can. I remember getting a piece of advice that I totally disagree with, and I don't know if people are gonna call in for this, but I had someone tell me, never go to bed angry. Like, you and your husband should never go to bed angry with each other.
I've heard that.
Yeah, I disagree with that. I think it's okay to go to bed angry. I really do. Like, I think it's totally okay. I'm not going to sit up all night long and try to solve something if we're both not in a place to solve it.
Okay.
And just for the sake of, I want to get some sleep. But I think really that statement should be more or less, you can go to bed angry, but it doesn't mean that you stop showing love.
Absolutely. Yeah.
To me, that's more important. I can be angry with you and still love you, and so show you love and show you respect and show you kindness and be loving towards you. Even though I'm angry about this thing, because this thing isn't you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think when we can separate the person from the issue, then you can love on that person and you all can discuss the issue tomorrow. And trust me, if you had a really good night the night before, you all are way more open to sitting down and discussing it and caring about what the other person says and being respectful. If you're able to still show each other love through that process.
I mean, having a disagreement or something like that and going to sleep is like you said, you still love and cater to each other. So it's like, here's your food, here's your drink. And yeah, we can cuddle however you sleep, touching or whatever. Do what you normally do. And then sometimes, like you said, and I hadn't considered that because I received that same information too when I was married. You allow time to cool down so that you don't talk at each other. You talk to each other,
Exactly.
and you're willing to listen. So.
Yep. I think that's very important. I think showing love is more important than not being upset about something, because you're going to be upset about stuff. I mean, think of it in terms of our children. We go to bed angry at our children, and we still love them, and we still can show them love. And
they still get breakfast in the morning.
They still get breakfast in the morning. If they, come in your room because they had a bad dream, you don't kick them out because, well, I'm mad at you because you failed your math test. No, you show them love. Right. It's the same thing. I mean, it should be even more so with your spouse, because that person is supposed to be your one. Yeah. And so it's supposed to be God, and then your spouse, and then your children. And so you need to show them love. And I think sometimes we miss the mark with that, because we want to punish people because we're mad at them or we're upset with them. Right. And that should not be where we come from. We shouldn't come from a place of that. We should come from a place of love.
I agree. It's like, why are you with this person if it's going to be like, well, I don't like you and I'm never going to like you again, so...
Exactly. It's got to be a place of love. Yeah.
So I want to wrap this section of erectile dysfunction up, because I got some things I want to discuss.
He's got some things he wants to discuss, y'all.
That you brought up, and I'm like, well, I want to get to all of that.
Okay.
So, there were some foods that you could eat that would help with erectile dysfunction. Well, first of all, I would say get rest.
Yes.
Get some rest. Do some exercises, find a workout routine. You can do that on YouTube. You can find any number of them. And get a regular,
everything's on YouTube.
Almost, I would say like 3 or 4 days a week, a good workout routine. Keep it consistent, right? And then that'll help. And then there are some foods that you can eat. Well, let's see what kinds we want here. So because this causes problems with blood flowing into and staying in the penis and damage to nerve centers within the penis. These foods are rich in flavonoids, and they include berries, citrus fruits, grapes, apples, hot peppers, red wine. And that's funny to me because I absolutely abhor red wine. I'm a white wine type of person.
You don't like sweet? I mean, you like sweet? Is that what it is?
I like the sweeter ones. I guess the red wines are always like bitter to me.
There's some sweet ones. There's some sweet reds.
Sweet reds. Yeah.
I can't think off the top of my head because usually I like my reds on the drier side, but there are some sweet ones.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you, it cannot be Cabernet Sauvignon.
What's wrong with Cabernet Sauvignon?
It's bitter. It's like,
Pinot Noir,
what is this for?
Pinot Grigio.
I could have done the last two. I'm cool with. But
Malbec or Shiraz, those are real dry, but they taste great with a steak. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Great with a steak. I'm
already trying to think about what we're going to have for Valentine's Day.
Fish sandwiches, okay. Tea, green, white, and black tea. Probably Earl Grey too if you're a Star Trek fan. So those are just some of the foods that you can eat that will actually aid with erectile dysfunction, along again with the exercise. And for goodness sake, stop working so many hours. There's going to be work to do. Always. If you do your 8 hours a day, go home. Here's something, and I bring this up because I've discussed this with more than a few people. The shutdown we had in 2020, which allowed everybody to stay home and actually enjoy their spouses and their children, got to the point now where it's like, I don't want to go back and work myself into the ground anymore. So they're either quitting or they're just doing starting their own businesses, and they're working fewer hours so they can spend time with their families. And I guarantee you, for men with that lack of stress and that amount of work that they were doing prior to that, there's going to be a lot of babies born.
They're already coming. They are already coming. Absolutely. And there's also foods that you want to avoid. Anything that's going to be a vasoconstrictor, such as like caffeine. Um, Things like that can actually restrict those blood vessels and help to cut off that blood flow. And to your list, I'd like to add fresh salmon with omega-3 fatty acids.
Salmon, I love salmon.
Salmon is just an amazing, it's an amazing food product, just in and of itself. It has so much protein in there. It's easier to digest. There's just so many health benefits to salmon. Everybody should have salmon in their diet, unless you're vegan. Then I don't know what to tell you, but I'm not vegan. Like so I don't know.
I'm a carnivore. I'm going to eat.
Yeah, how to balance all of that. But I do know salmon is just amazing, amazing. And then also zinc, increasing your zinc too helps, which is why people say things like oysters are an aphrodisiac if they're very high in zinc.
We talked about that last week. And I was like, I'll take the salmon. I was like, I don't know who the first person was to try oysters or to find out that the zinc was, You don't
like oysters?
I'm looking and I'm going, no.
Like
if someone gives it to me, they're gonna have to blindfold me and not tell me what it is.
Have you had one before? You just don't like
I'm
how
just
they
looking
look.
and I'm like,
oh, so you've never had an oyster before?
I have not.
Oh, they're delicious.
You go right ahead.
They're absolutely delicious. Yeah.
I like to say I'll try anything once. So at some point I probably will. But,
Okay.
Up to now, it's been like I'll look at certain foods, and a lot of things I've tried, which is why I know I don't like them. But oysters is one of those things that I'll look at. I'm like, I don't even know if I want to try it. But again, as I get older now, I'm like, I'll lighten up. I'll try things.
Yeah, I grew up eating a lot of different things. I ate escargot, oysters.
So you're okay as you would call yourself a seafood person?
I like food. There's a few things that I don't eat, and and then I have an agreement with myself to not add any more animal protein that I haven't already eaten. So there won't be any new animal proteins added to my diet. So if I haven't already had it, I won't get it because I want to increase more plant-based foods in my diet. And again, that's another thing. Increasing your fiber is also really good because it cleans out your blood vessels as well, which again, that's one of the biggest issues when it comes to erectile dysfunction is that circulation or the circulatory issues. So I would say increasing your fiber too. But yeah, definitely, I want to live long.
Yeah.
So I want to live long. I just want to look like I'm living long.
Right.
I don't want to look like I've had a long, hard life.
Yeah. You don't want to look like what you've been through. Like I tell people all the time, like, I don't look like what I've been through, because if you knew, you would be like, well, you should be old and decrepit.
I mean, like, I don't look 87. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I think I look really good for 87. You wouldn't even know it.
And I don't look 77 either myself. So
here we go. Like, this is 87. I can't wait to see what 187 looks like. But
be doing one arm push-ups.
Exactly. So
pulling boats,
So do you have anything special that you're doing for Valentine's, or what would you like?
Well, for me, it's usually work. I got to do the concert again, like I said, tomorrow at the Fox. That's the Valentine's Extravaganza 70s Soul show.
Okay.
So, then the day itself, I'm not sure. It's for me, holidays and special days like that kind of took a back seat when I got a certain age. When, like, for instance, once my kids were grown, I'm like, yeah, I'm not buying anything special on like Christmas and Thanksgiving. I'm just going to save my money because that was for the kids. So for me, things like Valentine's Day, I would probably give some flowers to. But again, it's one of those things that it's not.
For you?
It's not currently the biggest thing to me, and I would expect that to be understood by significant others. It depends. I guess it depends. But like this year, there's so much going on that I haven't had a lot of time to give it thought. But like I said, I will probably at least give flowers.
Okay.
How about you? Do you have anything like that?
Don't have anything necessarily planned. We always do something special for each other. I do definitely. I'm probably the opposite have the opposite philosophy that you have. I think that birthdays and anniversaries and Christmas, like any excuse to show somebody something or that show them that you love them, I think is awesome. I don't think that you should wait until Valentine's Day to do it. I don't think you should do it because it's Valentine's Day.
I like that. Yeah.
But I don't think you should not do it just because it's Valentine's Day either. But I definitely think that those opportunities to show people, because we only have so many breaths, so many heartbeats.
So many years with them.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I think that when somebody's breaths are done and their heartbeats are done, that you know that you honored them and made them feel special, like they knew how important they were to you. So I think that's important. I think when the smaller holidays like Valentine's Day come around, I think you can do smaller gestures if you've been doing things throughout the year. Well, I think the big gigantic gestures probably need to take place if you haven't been doing anything. You have some makeup work to do. But I think if you've constantly been doing things to make that person feel special, then
all year round,
then you can do something small to say, hey, I'm thinking about you on this day. But I'm thinking about you every day. So I'm always going to do something to show you or tell you every single day that I love you and I care about you and you're important to me. Yeah. I think there's finding that balance.
Yeah, that's the key word right there. I think because I had a thing I used to do when I was married, and I would just listen to what she was saying. And, women talk a lot about things they want in shopping and all of that stuff.
Oh, they do.
So
absolutely.
I would just write things down, and then periodically throughout the years, here's a gift just because. How did you know? And I'm like, because you talk.
Exactly. I think that's so right. I think that's so important. I am so straightforward. Like I would not have an issue if someone said, I'm gonna write a list of all the things that I would like to have as a gift. Thank you. Because that makes my job so much easier.
It does. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I do. I think that's good. And the fact that you listen, like that's a really romantic thing when you have a man in your life that listens. That's like huge. And ladies, if you have a man in your life that listens, I'm telling you, it is like the best thing in the world. Keep him. If he listens, keep him. I'm telling you. Yes, absolutely. I'm speaking from experience. Having a man that listens is awesome.
You heard her. You heard her, guys.
And guys, just so you guys know, listen to what she says, because she's always going to tell you what's going on. Just listen. And you'd be surprised at how much easier things are for you.
Things will flow for you, right?
They're like so much easier. But ladies, you have to listen too. I think as women, we have to remember that men are not, in general, so I'm generalizing. So if you're a talkative man, this is not you. But for the most part, men tend to be quieter when it comes to expressing certain things. And so as women, we have to learn to listen. We do. Like we have to learn to listen. And sometimes that means when he talks, you don't. And you just listen. And you'd be surprised at how much you learn about your husband or your boyfriend or your significant other just by listening. Come home and just listen.
It's
just
like
listen.
Both parties have to, at some point, you either learn to go do that back and forth communication, or one's going to do all the talking and the other one's not going to talk, and then the one that's doing all the talking eventually stops talking and goes, "Why don't you talk?" I'm like, "You want to give me a chance to say what?"
Give me a chance to say something. Exactly. And then also I think it's important, like when we talked about intimacy, when you can be with your significant other and just be with them, like just in the car, not talking, no radio, or sitting down in the living room, just sitting there, like just quiet.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get uncomfortable in those quiet spaces.
Silences, right?
And I think that's because we're starting to feel vulnerable. Like, oh my gosh, if I don't feel this was feel like, you got like all these thoughts running through your head. Just chill,
just let it go,
and just be with that person. Just feel them there, feel their presence, and just enjoy being in that moment with them.
Absolutely.
I think that's really important. I think that's a great sign of intimacy when you can be comfortable just being with them, not having to have a conversation, not having to have an outside distraction with the television or the children or whatever, just being able to be in a space with your partner.
Like y'all sitting in the living room, one on the couch, one on the chair, reading books. Not, I know you're there. I know how to come find you, or if you're upstairs, I know how to come find you, but comfortable, just be.
Yep. Or sometimes you both are just sitting on the couch, just sitting there, no books, nothing, just cuddle up, just sitting there, just being in each other's presence. Like, that's a good sign of intimacy right there. That's a great sign, right?
So you're watching the Orgasm Show live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Be sure to like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends about us. Yeah, because the more the merrier. We want everybody to get all this great information. Okay. And we thank you for watching WJZZ Cool TV, which is the coolest station in the world. Now, I'm laughing at this chair because I have another show that I do, and I have what I call squeaky chair. and everyone's always like, why is your chair squeaking? I'm like, I guess it needs oil. So I'm trying to be still.
Squeaky chair syndrome.
Squeaky chair syndrome. Like wherever I go, right? It's fun times.
So, Tim, if a woman was to plan a romantic evening for you?
Oh, boy.
What does that look like? Because we may have some women that are listening that are like, okay, I really want to plan something really nice for my significant other, but they don't want to do the same things that maybe he does for them.
Okay.
So, like what is a nice romantic evening? Like, what are some ideas that we can give to the women out there, so as they're trying to plan through this weekend, because ladies, you still have the weekend to figure it out. What is something that would be really romantic to you? Or a few things, a few ideas.
Something that we don't do for them. Okay. Wow. Well, first of all, if you include dinner, that's fantastic. But don't just make dinner. Make it an event.
Okay.
Like if you're gonna have like different courses, then you set the table, you put the candles up, the tablecloth and all that, and then it's like, all right, here's the first course. Treat it like an Italian meal,
Okay.
So here's the first course, and then you like the appetizer, and then you bring the main dish, and then you bring dessert, and make sure everything's there that you need.
Okay.
That's as far as dinner goes, and you can do that at home, or you can be creative. You can go, like, say you have a favorite restaurant, or your man has a favorite restaurant. Go and book a private room and do the same thing, and just the two of you. So something like that. And then I suppose it's cliche kind of, but decorate.
Okay.
This isn't so romantic, but it was something I saw in a movie that kind of just blew me away.
Okay.
A long time ago. The movie was Renaissance Man with Danny DeVito.
Okay.
And his daughter wanted to be an astronomer, and he kept messing up. He was a horrible dad and everything. So finally, he got his life together, and she came in the movie. She came home, and there was a red ribbon on the floor, and she grabbed the ribbon and followed it up the stairs, and there was a big ribbon on her door. And she pulled that down and opened the door, and the biggest telescope was sitting in her room. And then just the idea, that she'd gotten something she wanted. It was just, do something like that for your man. What is something that he wants? Is he, I'm a musician.
Okay.
It would be the equivalent of me coming home to the red ribbon and opening the door, and it's a rolling Phantom keyboard. Yeah, same effect. And it doesn't have to be something that elaborate, but what does he like? Find out what he likes, and then plan a surprise. Do it the day before Valentine's Day. Do it the day after. Do it a week later. We were saying it doesn't matter what day of the year that you do these things. Just plan.
Just do them.
Yeah.
I would caution against the day after, because it looks like you forgot.
Like,
the day before, I think, is good. The following week. But sometimes if you do it the day after, even if that was your intention, it can look like you forgot.
Backfire,
so you may want to do something small the day of and then do that. So at least they know you really didn't forget. It was just part of whatever you were planning, I mean, you seem very food oriented. So for you, would you say that a woman cooking, like that's huge for you?
Yeah, I've done right. Yes,
So you
it's
don't want the
huge. It's
nasty
huge.
food. You don't want
Yes,
the dry fried
please,
chicken.
Lord, no.
No. Okay.
Hey.
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 What's up, y'all?
What is
What's up? Okay, wait, let me come. Wait a
Welcome,
minute.
Okay.
boss
It looks
lady.
like we actually have our host. Hi, Diamond.
What's up, everybody? What's up,
What's up?
everybody?
What's up? What's up?
Were you at the pool?
Yeah, let me get my clothes.
No, she's in Miami with Beautiful Wonder. What is going on?
Miami.
Yeah. No snow, right? We know. We get it. We get it.
Yes, beautiful weather out there. So make sure when you come back that you bring us some of that sunshine.
Indeed, I will.
Okay. And we don't need, and like we're not even gonna be greedy. We don't need like 80 degrees. Just bring back 30 of them. Just 30 of them.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I know, right? That'll put us
About
in.
60. We'll be good because we're not greedy.
Brother, right there, we got it.
We're not greedy. We don't want all of it, but some of it would be nice.
Right.
And
So, Tim, you've been telling the world, what men want. You've been getting us together for the women, getting the women together.
Yes. So Tim was just talking about, I asked him what is something romantic that he would like, and then he likes the idea of a woman cooking for him and really making it into an event. So having all of those different courses and serving all those courses separately and making sure the place is decorated and everything is looking nice, food is smelling good. He said no dry fried chicken. He's not playing that.
No dry fried chicken.
Dry fried chicken.
No. Don't make him call his mama on you. Don't make him call his mama. Be like, mama, she cannot. Or worse yet, her mama. No, I'm gonna need you. She needs to repeat that class. She needs to repeat that class. Yeah, no.
Right. Okay, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Were you able to ask some of the questions?
Haven't gotten there yet. I'm about to do that.
Okay. We here just in time. We here just in time.
Like if you want to do it, you can do it because you do it way better than I do.
All right. Okay, Diamond.
Okay. So I don't know how many drops y'all did, but in case you didn't know, you have stumbled upon.
I'm on 3.
3? Okay.
And I'm about, in fact, you know what? Hold on a second. Hold on. So all of you are watching the Orgasm Show, which is live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Be sure to like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends about us. We're awesome. You want to follow us and get all this great information. All right?
Absolutely.
And we thank you for watching WJZZ Cool TV, which is the coolest station in the world. It's a 3-part harmony. It's good. All right. So, yeah, you want to do the questions, you are free to,
Okay.
Make them remember your name.
Go ahead, Diamond. Go, girl.
All right. This right here. Yeah. So, one of the questions I have particularly in regards to men and what they want from their women, love making. So I know men are visual creatures, and sometimes women, we're really self-conscious and we want to do it in the dark. So, what do you prefer, Tim?
No, I need the lights on. I like the I need the lights on. I want to see what I'm eating. Okay. Look, you can turn the lights off. No, don't turn the lights off because that shows a lot of insecurity when lights are turned out. You can put candles on, that's fine. Soft light is cool. Red light's cool. But don't turn the lights out. Then it's just like you might as well just be masturbating. There's no connection because you can't see.
See, okay. So I totally get the lights. I think men are visual, so they want to be able to see that. And, as women, you confidence is very sexy. Confidence is very sexy.
It's
I don't care
sexy.
what your body shape is. I don't care how you look. Confidence is sexy. You have to love how you look, love your body. I don't care if you're 125 or 375 or 625. Okay. You have to love how you look and be confident. And that confidence is very sexy. I do think lights on has a place, and I think lights off has a place, because just like, to me, lights off is everybody's blindfolded and you're focused on all of your other senses.
Right.
Which heighten,
So I
right?
feel like that can heighten other things that are going on, because now your sense of
Smell and touch.
can turn it into a game. You can make it a very sensual experience. But I would say you definitely need that confidence, though. Like, don't turn the lights out just because you feel some kind of way. And I also think as our partners, we can make each other feel better about ourselves. I think when a man truly is into you and he lets you know he's into you, your insecurities will melt, because you know that regardless of what you thought you looked like, he likes how you look.
Yes, he
So
does.
you're like, hey, you know what? He likes how I look. Like, that is a big turn on. And I think the same thing for men, for women. Like, if you let him know that you like how he looks, and he's like, oh, well, it don't matter if I'm 115 pounds or 725. She
Right.
like how I look. And I think that's a big thing. So I think that confidence thing is really big. But I do think that the lights on can be fun, and I think lights off can be fun.
You have convinced me. Okay, I see.
See, Tim says he's convinced. He's convinced. I think lights off can be a lot of fun.
Just don't move the
Keep the
furniture.
lights on and blind.
Don't move the furniture around.
He said, "Don't move the furniture around." So what'd you say, Diamond?
Brenda said keep the lights on and just blindfold her. Okay.
You can do that.
So you get both. You get the
Right,
dark
and
and the
she,
light.
and she gets all the heightened
Boom, boom.
That could be fun too. That
Yes, sir.
that could definitely be fun
Everybody
too.
wins, right?
Exactly.
Right.
All right. So, do you have any other questions? That was a good one. What else you got for us?
I was wondering about how. So I was talking to, was it you or somebody? But they were talking about how women think too much. I don't know if y'all covered this, but like how women usually think too much in regards to pleasing a man and turning a man on, and too many trinkets, too much decoration, too much all the other extra. Like, he like what he like, and if he likes you, then perhaps you and a wife beater and boy shorts is enough, and a beer. Perhaps. Go ahead, Tim.
No, it depends on each individual person. I get that, but if you know what your man likes, then yeah, if you know he likes you in that, then buy a wife beater in every color and matching, shorts, and have at it.
But what if we're getting to that? What if we're just kind of getting to that and we're still trying to figure out what
Haven't gotten there yet.
and we're still trying to figure it out. So how do we as ladies kind of cover that landscape, make them happy without too many bells and whistles, because y'all be wanting to get to it. I don't have to eat all the chocolate.
I don't know.
Trying to eat you.
We covered the dinner, we covered the boy short. I don't know. If y'all watching TV, that's on them while jump on them. Be playful. You know what? I think that's
Be spontaneous, right?
be playful. Be playful.
Be
You
playing.
know, don't think so much like an adult all the time. Have fun with it.
Be spontaneous.
Just sometimes out the box is the best way to be. Sometimes, is that cool?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then also, I think if you're talking like as far as like attire and trying to find something that makes you feel like comfortable, I think I would go to like Victoria's Secret, or finding that lingerie that is flattering to you, because trust me, there's like lingerie that's flattering for everybody shape. It doesn't matter And if your butt and your stomach look the same, there's a piece of lingerie out there that's gonna work for you.
If your butt and your stomach look the same,
So if you got a
it's a
booty
piece of
do,
lingerie that's gonna put the butt where it's supposed to be.
make your booty do look beautiful, boo.
I'm trying to tell you, you'd be surprised what you would see on TikTok.
You look good.
So if your butt and your stomach, they pretty much we don't know which way you're facing. There's going to be a lingerie out there for you. Okay. All I'm saying,
I would like to see what
Okay.
so you want to make sure that you get something that you feel beautiful in, because that's going to build your confidence. And so maybe today you feel beautiful in a lace gown that comes like right below your knee, and you put on some sexy stilettos, and that's what you feel comfortable in today. And as you get more confident, now you feel comfortable in a teddy, in a lacy teddy.
Okay,
and
you gotta get ready.
So just as you progress through it, you get more and more.
Okay. So Tim, the other thing I want to know about is
His tracks, his mouth is hanging open. He likes what he sees you wearing or not wearing.
all right. So how about playing toys and like testing the freak barrier?
Well, that's again something that has to be done moderately. If you're just getting to know somebody, then you want to ease into certain things. Have those discussions.
Absolutely.
Talk about what you like and don't like, and then plan a date and start testing things out. I guess
Okay.
But we can talk about that some more. We're gonna have to talk about that some more next week because we are just about out of time.
Are we almost out of time? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would like to thank wonderful guests for joining us.
You got 4 minutes.
Okay, well, let me just interject real quick. So, I have a past history of teaching women how to spice things up in the bedroom. And when I would have women ask me, how do they introduce a bedroom accessory? We would start small, start with a blindfold, start with a teeny tiny little vibrator, something small first. And then start having those conversations with him.
But you should probably have a conversation before you even introduce a toy, right?
You can, but you can start with something really mild, with like a edible lubricant or massage oil. You can start with something really small, and then have that conversation like, "Hey, sweetheart, you really like that flavored massage oil, that flavored lube."
I want to bring my big dick in here with batteries.
Well, no, don't start with the big. Don't know. You see, you about to scare him away. I'm gonna need you. Okay, remember I said small. We're gonna start small.
Okay.
And then we're gonna build. But you wanna start small and show him. Wow, wasn't that fun when I brought that game in? Or wasn't that fun when I brought that edible dusting powder in? Now let's try this. Or how about next week you pick something and you bring it in and let's see what happens. You know what I'm saying? And make it a game.
Yeah, make it a game.
And some things are going to be great and some things are going to get voted off the island, but make it fun. Make that whole process fun.
Yeah.
Right.
And like you said, just relax and have fun. It'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Don't overthink it. Don't stress yourselves.
Remember,
men are like very what's the word? Accommodating, but that's not what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say we've waited our whole life to be adults. Have fun with it.
Exactly.
Like have fun, right. Play, and be willing to laugh at yourself.
Yeah,
it's totally okay. Like that's part of the fun.
Okay.
I agree.
I'm always laughing at something.
Laughing. And then having some cosplay. I totally love cosplay with sexy stuff. But I imagine that's another conversation to have with your dude, and then to see what kind of cosplay he is into, to see if he'd even be turned
dressing up. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Absolutely. I mean, there's so many things that we can do that are just, we like you were saying before, act like you're a child and use your imagination.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
To have a spirit of a child, be playful in your spirit always.
Yes.
To the
Yeah,
bedroom.
don't give in to these societal norms of you must be serious all the time. Skip all that.
Right. So today's show, we just really wanted to share and highlight some of the things to make Valentine's Day great for the
Mhm.
men. I
Right.
know the men are always being held accountable, but we just wanted to holler out the fellas and say, be my Valentine. What do y'all want? And in case you didn't know, you have been watching the Orgasm Show on WJZZ, the coolest station in
In
The
the
world.
world.
Have a great night, everybody. See you guys next Friday at 7 p.m. Be there, be square. Tell everybody about us. Like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't miss out.
We out from Miami.